We're pressure canning potatoes today. Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Extra. I'm Holly Baird. So what we're doing right now is we are peeling the potatoes and then chopping them. You can can them whole if you want, but we just like to chop them up a little bit. And after we get them peeled and chopped, we're going to put them in some water with lemon juice. That way, so as you can see, like this one already is getting pretty oxidized. And the reason why we're canning them is because it's convenience and it helps preserve the harvest. Potatoes are best stored underground in a root cellar, basement, crawl space on air, well circulated shelves. You can can your potatoes for many reasons, maybe because of a space issue or because it's easier, your prep is done for quick, easy meals. But this way we have them cooked and ready to go, and we can just go ahead and crack open a jar and then make a nice side dish like that. Or you could mash them up and make some easy mashed potatoes. So I'm going to go ahead and get these peeled and chopped, and then it does take about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds per quart, and we just do them in quarts because it just makes the most sense. And we're going to do ours in wide mouth so that they're easier to load in. So I'm going to get these peeled and chopped. So we've got our potatoes peeled and chopped up. We washed them first, then peeled them, then chopped them, put them in some water with some lemon juice to help preserve the color. And what we did is, while we were peeling and chopping them, to estimate kind of about how many we'll need, we took our, since we know we're going to do 4 quarts, took a quart jar, filled it up approximately to what we wanted to fill it up to, and then we put in the lemon juice. That way we know approximately how much we're going to need. We used a combination of red and Yukon Gold potatoes that we grew in our garden. We're going to go ahead and get these on the stove to boil them for 2 minutes. To start the cooking process, we're just going to put these in some boiling water for a couple of minutes, about 2 to 3 minutes. If you're canning whole potatoes, you need to do it for about 10 minutes. And you just wait till it goes back up to a boil before you count the 2 minutes. It's been 2 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and pull the potatoes out, and we're just going to put them back in this bowl here. We've rinsed it out and put warm water into the bowl, and now we're going to get them ready to put into the jars. So in pressure canning, you want to make sure that your pressure canner, when you purchase it, after every year, that you get it checked out by your local extension, and they can just do the safety checks, make sure that the valves are okay, and the rubber gasket that's inside of there, the rubber ring, and all that good stuff is, you know, up to standard. This is a pressure canner and a pressure cooker that we're using here. We checked with our local extension, and they said that it was fine for us to use for canning. So it may look a little bit different than yours, but just make sure when you get your canner that you read the instructions and you understand how to use it. If you get a canner from a rummage sale, you may want to check with your extension for sure to find out if it's okay to use, because sometimes the older ones have changed. You may have to replace some parts. Ours didn't come with a rack, so we just took some old canning lids, some old rusty ones, tie them together with wire, and it works perfect as a nice little rack for our pressure canner. You want to make sure the jars are off the bottom of the pressure canner, just like any other canner you use, so that the jars don't have direct contact with the bottom. It could cause them to break. So now what we're going to do, or what we've done, is we're getting these topped off with the water, and we just need to have 1-inch headspace, and you just want to use hot water. Just use right from your teapot. That's going to be the easiest. And we got them all topped off. So I'm just going to get the lids and the rings on, and then we're going to go ahead and get them into the pressure canner. So we have our jars loaded into our pressure canner. We're going to go ahead and get the lid on. And you want it, you know, you don't necessarily want to follow our directions. You need to follow the directions of your manufacturer's, whatever the owner's manual says. So when you get your pressure canner, and you know, maybe you're not going to use it right away, you want to make sure you put your directions in a safe place so that you know where they are. We're going to go ahead, what we do is we turn our heat on to high, and what's going to happen is steam is going to start to rise from that port there. Once it is going at full steam for 10 minutes, then we take our weight and we put it on there. And then we start timing 40 minutes, because that's what this requires for the weight and for the potatoes. And then after 40 minutes, we turn the heat off, and then we just let it cool down, and then we take it out of the canner. So now we're going to go ahead and get ready to take the jars out of the canner. And the way ours works is, after the 40 minutes, we turn our stove off. We go ahead, lift this up. You can hear if the air is coming out of there. If there's still air coming out, You just put that back down and let it continue to cool, and just check it every 5-10 minutes or so. Now that we're ready to go, I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and you just twist it. There's always directions on here. You want to make sure you pull it away from you, so that you don't get any steam in your face, because it's still pretty hot. And then we'll just go ahead and put these on a towel on our table here, and you'll be able to hear the lids seal as well. So there you have it. You have the canned potatoes. If you do like what you see, go ahead, take a second to comment or subscribe. Again, my name is Holly Baird, and this has been a Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener Extra.